Welcome to Black Women's World Podcast, the BWWP.
The week of, when I really would start, cleaning and cooking those things, I've already done some of those things before the prices went up, and so to me, that whole, when you said earlier, making a list, you can go to the scripture, Habakkuk, you write a vision and make it plain. A vision ain't just some dream or something God gives you. A vision is something simple as a grocery list and a budget. Yeah, when you write that thing, out, you're more apt to stick to it. And then the scripture also says that those who read it may run with it. So I can make a grocery list all day long, but if I don't read it when I get to the store, I can't run down them aisles and pick up what I need to pick up. But if I don't have my money right, I can't even go to the store.
Welcome to Black Women's World Podcast, the BWWP, where we get VIP access into the lives of Black women, or as we like to call us here, our SistaNistas. We get to hear from some of our favorite SistaNistas as they share their worlds with us and create connections, exchange realities, ideas, and baby, we get to recognize and celebrate how powerful we really are. Welcome to our queendom. I'm your self-discovery companion, your professional peacemaker, and I'm your host, TracyMac. Come on in and relax and sit with me for just a little while. Peace.
Well, hello, everybody. I am TracyMac, host of Black Women's World Podcast, and I have with me today my co-host, Deanna Hamilton.
Hey, people.
We are missing our third person, Javon Cookie Jones, today, but we are going to go on because today we want to talk about something that you all are probably already talking about, and that is prepping for the holidays. Sometimes you meet that with prepping for the holidays. It's time to prep for the holidays because we get to prep for the holidays. Deanna, are you ready for the holidays?
It seemed like 2020 took about 2 years. 2 years in 2020, but 2021 seems to have flown, and we're already in November. And I was like, oh my God, it's time to start getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas already.
Yes. It did. It kind of snuck up. And then when I realized, it's like sometimes when you realize the time will slow down, but it's like when I realized that the time just kept going, it's like, wait a minute, because I knew it was cold this morning, not because of the temperature, but because my knees told me before I even went outside. But Deanna, you and I did a workshop, a cohort, and we even partnered with the National Institute of Health, and we did it several places called Food, Folks, and Funds. And with the holidays coming up, I think that's a great some things we need to probably, as you mentioned earlier, budget our money, our food, and I say even when it comes to relationships, people. Come on, let's just jump right on into it. When we thinking about prepping for the holidays,
talk about those three things. Food first. Okay, so November 1, I really had to think. Okay, the holidays are coming up. We just come off of, in August, our 75 hard, and in between then and September and October, there probably were some things that we probably did not do. Or which is the not do, which probably was not to plan on a daily. We were not to plan, because even on the journey to the food, there are things that pop up in between, like the state fair that popped up, birthdays that
you did dinner and blanc.
All these things kind of pop up, and they're not necessarily to the way you would want to plan them. Okay, they're not planned. Every day in life is not planned, right? So you really have to plan for the unplanned. So this is now planning for the unplanned, because we're in eating season. That's what
yes. Planning for the incidentals, and one of them is we will be eating. And Dina, we talked earlier, we have been on these health journeys of ours, two different journeys, but we've journeyed together through much of it. I think I started about a year before you, but we've been accountability partners on this journey. God knows I thank God for you. And when I think about the the things that it takes to budget your health, some of the things that we even talked about then when we did Food, Folks, and Funds is when you know it's eating season, you're going to have to budget your, and I'm not a calorie counter, but I know good and well sweet potato pie is not a salad. Right. So
all calories are not equal too. So that's important too.
Exactly. So when we say budget your health or budget your eating, you know those days or those things that you really enjoy around holiday season. Dina, how are some things? I know one of my things was I had to eat before I went to certain places. So I would at least have something on my stomach and not be ravenously hungry around all those carbs I love. What's something you do?
Well, you know, I do that exact same thing. The thing about journeying with you and seeing people along the way is those tools that we taught are really tools that they have become lifestyle. You know, they're lifestyle tools. So Brian and I, everyone knows my favorite restaurant. We are there so often that we are in the Raleigh tourism guide. Our host is in. So went there, but before I left, I ate before I left. So I knew that I wasn't going to eat all of my food while I was there. I didn't even eat all of my dessert while I was there.
Wait a minute, not the dessert we love.
I did not. But those things, they work. I mean, what you know work, you need to keep working it. Even though I'm gonna have it, you know, I had a nice steak. It was so delicious, but I couldn't eat all of it. I could not eat all of. I didn't even eat all the salad, but because I had, so you know, I didn't have room for it.
Yeah. I get you because, like you said, all calories are not equal. So just because you may eat, you know, whatever your thing is for that you eat for the healthier stuff, when those unhealthy calories, you know, sitting, you don't want different diseases that we have come from to settle back in. And Dina, when you were talking about going to your favorite place, whether it be, you know, your favorite place to eat or your favorite food and separating those things. The other thing I have to deal with is exercise because I tend to travel a lot more during the holiday season and it's not always convenient to go outside to work out. But so I have to do things prior to going out of town. Like if I'm going out of town, I may work out on a day that I don't normally work out. Like I don't work out on Sundays. But I know if I'm going out of town and I won't be able to work out or it won't be as convenient, then I'll work out on that Sunday. What's some of the things you do as far as your workout? Because you know it's 80% in the kitchen, but that 20% is that working out part.
Yeah. Well, I'm committed to something. And I do have to think about that because I will be on a travel schedule. So I am thinking now that, okay, the pool, I'm going somewhere tropical weather, so I know the pool is going. I'm not really familiar with the surroundings, so a run alone probably would not be anything that I do because I'm not familiar. Now, if there are some others who would like to run, I will run with them, you know, because safety in numbers.
Yeah.
But I do know that there is a pool, and so I can swim laps. So that's one thing I'm already thinking ahead regarding that. One is a convention that is coming up, and I know that my hotel is a quarter mile away. So I know that I'm gonna have to walk. Well, I don't have to, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk a quarter mile there and another quarter mile back, and probably a whole nother mile once you get into the convention space.
Yeah.
Once you get into the convention space, I know it's a hotel, so I will call to see what their gym looks like.
Yeah.
Certainly, you got to have a piece of equipment somewhere.
Yes.
So yeah, I am thinking about those things. and how to do it on the travel as well.
We
I
have
see you
to.
got a new treadmill. Now we both have
Yes.
equipment at home.
Yes.
So yes, we have to use what we have, because there was a time neither one of us had any
Oh,
exercise equipment at home. It was just,
oh.
either into the gym or outside, or
Mm-hmm.
what have you. So tell us about that.
Well, I mean, it's an investment that takes away your excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a lifestyle. This isn't losing weight for a dress or a particular event. It's a lifestyle. And like I was telling you, I've had to make that decision, TracyMac. This is a lifestyle. So I chose to make the investment. I had bought a cheap one, thinking that COVID was going to be over with and I'd be able to go back into the gym. And me and Jada wore that treadmill out.
Okay.
The motor blew, and it wasn't the kind that you replace. It was cheap. I knew it was cheap. I bought it with the cash I had on hand because, like I said, it was temporary. But now that we're in this thing for the longer haul, I had to make another investment, and get a new and better treadmill. And I used it for the first time this week, and I used it this morning because it's raining and cold. But those are those things we planned. I knew the winter was coming, and I did not want to sabotage all this work I have done because I know I like to eat during the holidays. And then that goes back to when you said out of town for convention. I have to travel to the same weekend, but the person I'm traveling with, we have to coordinate our schedules because we both said we're going to work out. And in that, I got to make sure I take my shoes, just make sure you pack. You even have to plan your packing different. So I know this may be elementary for some, but we want to encourage you that it doesn't take a particular plan. If you're on one, great. It doesn't take a particular diet. If you're on one, great. But you want to do something for the long haul. Planning your meals over the holidays will save you from feeling guilty January 1.
Absolutely. Because January 1, the gyms is gonna be full, and that's when all the diet commercials and programs and stuff are gonna be amped up. So we on the food. Okay, so we got
Yes.
the food. So you need to plan for the food over the holidays. And
Yes.
you want to do that before the holidays because
Yes.
everybody wants to eat over the
Yes.
holidays.
And
We
speak.
give thanks. We give
Yes.
thanks
We give
for
thanks.
this amazing bounty that the Lord has provided.
Yes. Yes. And in seriousness, because he provides that bounty, because we get to have money to be able to buy these things, to be able to travel. So I want to segue right into that on how to plan your money over the holidays, because it has to be a plan or you're going to repeat debt cycles. Most people get in more debt between Thanksgiving and Christmas than they get in all year. And they have all these expectations, these false promises and hopes that they're going to get out, but they find themselves right back in. Hey, I've been through that cycle. I know that cycle well, but not no more.
Stay tuned for more of the BWWP. Sometimes you have a taste for a little something sweet, and other times you want something savory. Well, the Sweet and Savory Sisters, Jessica and Sydney Hamilton, can satisfy your taste buds with either one or both. Talk about prospering during a pandemic. When schools shifted to virtual learning, Jessica and Sydney went from boredom to making breakfast to baking during their cooking classes, right on into business. And I do mean a whole business for real. These Sweet and Savory Sisters seized the opportunity and expanded their cakes into catering contracts. So if you want pies or cakes for your own sweet tooth, or if you'd like to connect with them about sharing a little sweet and savory for your special event, go to sweetandsavory.com. Now listen, that's sweet, but it ain't just a regular savory, because their sweet is sweet, but their savory has 2 E's. So go to sweetandsavory.sisters.com, because these sisters are serving goodness on a plate. You've been listening to Black Women's World Podcast. Let's continue the conversation.
So one of the things is now with the supply chain slow, it gives us the opportunity to plan that much more ahead. Places are having sales a little sooner. Deanna, how are you working your budget, your financial budget when it comes to planning for the holidays?
Well, I still have, children in the house who have lists, right?
Uh-huh.
So I've asked for lists earlier, so that we can, because I've been listening to the supply chains, and I, like you, do a lot of online shopping.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to make sure that things are here. In fact, the stuff that I got to ship out, I'm just gonna ship it out and tell folk don't open it to Christmas, hoping they
Yes.
get it before Christmas. You
Yes.
see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Um, but yes, and knowing who we have a list, okay, and I think lists work not just in the grocery store, but they also work, when it comes time for Christmas as well.
Yeah.
So you got Christmas. Oh, let me even back up. My mother-in-law told me, okay, now I'm from the South. Okay, so no judgment here. But this regarding Thanksgiving meals, they're going to be so much more expensive
Yes.
this year, so much more expensive. Now, my folks love themselves some chitlins. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
They love chitlins, right? It won't be no more chitlins this year. Not till the end. There are no more chitlins
They
this year.
out.
There are none. I mean, they got to do something with the supply chain in
Yeah.
Mexico, shit and stuff. They're not. So there's gonna be some things that
Unless you know somebody with a hog farm that's pulling chitlins from freshly slaughtered hogs, you ain't getting
yeah,
no chitlins this year,
you're
Dana.
not getting none. You're not getting any. Yeah,
Well,
you're
I
not
think
getting
I think chitlins won't be the only thing that's scarce. I mean,
exactly.
and so those things that I think we're going to have to really be grateful for the table this year. And
Yeah,
like I said,
shoes are gonna
plan
be more
now.
expensive. Everything is gonna be more expensive.
But
Everything.
you know what I did, Dina? When I first heard about the supply chain shortage, I like to plan. That's one of the things I can credit my dad for planning. When I first heard it, I went to the store and bought staples so I wouldn't have to hoard. I just made sure we were well supplied. Bought those things and I started making things that I normally would wait and make for Thanksgiving, pie fillings, uh, different vegetables, parboiling different things that it may run out. So that become Thanksgiving Day or the week of, when I really would start, cleaning and cooking those things. I've already done some of those things before the prices went up, and so to me, that whole, when you said earlier making a list, I mean, you go to the scripture Habakkuk, you write a vision and make it plain. A vision ain't just some dream or something God gives you. A vision is something simple as a grocery list and a budget.
Yeah,
When you
right.
write that thing, when you write that thing out, you're more apt to stick to it. And
Yeah,
then the scripture also says that those who read it may run with it. So I can make a grocery list all day long, but if I don't read it when I get to the store, I can't run down them aisles and pick up what I need to pick up. But if I don't have my money right, I can't even go to the store.
right. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
you're absolutely right. So yeah, there is all. I mean, that's on the even personal side, but then on the business side, sweet potatoes for the girls. Sweet potatoes is a big thing for their business come Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doubled, doubled. So we don't just buy. You can't go to the grocery store and buy,
Yeah.
the amount of sweet potatoes that they use. So the whole case of sweet potatoes now is twice what it was last year. So everything is
And
going
then
to
it will keep us mindful because I know we get together with family and friends and stuff, whether it be Thanksgiving Day or Christmas parties and things like that. But knowing that these things are more expensive, I think it would be mindful for some people to even pull together and combine meals. And that goes to the relationship side of the food, folks, and funds. The relationship side of even budgeting our time with people. And this being the holiday season is merry and bright, but it's also the time of year with the most suicides. People call it cuffing season when it comes to dating. But when we look at the dynamic between those two, where most people get depressed, people have lost loved ones around this time of year. COVID has taken a lot of people out. And I think using our tables and being hospitable can be a way that when we're talking about relationships and budgeting our food and our health, bring somebody else around your table that you may not, or give somebody, or invite somebody um, in on your thing. As you prepare for, just be mindful. I think that what do you think about that, Dana?
I think that's a excellent idea. Our families, we get together because our family, we just so selfish with our, but we love each other so much. There's so many of us. We just, there's not a holiday that we cannot not get together, right? So
Yes.
when you do pool your time, your energy, and your funds, you have a bigger celebration,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
we do have to also be mindful, that there are, when you pull in your family and your friends, this is a time you want to be happy, right? You really
Yes.
want to be happy. It's okay for you to it's okay to be around the people that make you happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to uninvite the people who don't make you that happy.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly. That's
okay.
part of the budget.
Yeah, and
Your
it's okay.
liabilities and assets. You got some people that are liabilities to your mental health and your emotional health, and some people are assets.
And it may include some of
Yes.
your family and some of your friends. So you don't have to, this is your life. You
Yes.
live it, okay?
Yes.
You live it. If I haven't learned anything with these past 5 years, is to be around people who really do make you happy. Be
Yes.
around people that make you
Yes.
happy. And if they don't make you happy, it's okay. Doesn't mean we don't have to be, we don't have to communicate, but we
Yes.
don't have to be all up on each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can love one another from a distance.
Love each other from a distance. That's
Yes.
right. Because it's eating season and it's happy season. It's happy
Yes,
season.
yes. And when we eat together, we happy together. And
Happy together.
and
Yeah.
it's nothing like being able to create your own world, especially as a Black woman, as a queen, as a leader. And I don't necessarily mean if you have a leadership position on your job, but you get to lead your own life. So as you're planning and prepping for the holidays, look at your own health, because health is wealth. Make sure you try to stay as healthy as possible on your health journey, whether you're trying to maintain, like me, or lose like some people. You can. I remember one year, Dina, we had a testimonial that we both lost weight over the holiday period. I think that was like maybe 2018, if from
Yes.
what I recall. But you can, especially you journey with somebody. So you have your food right, your health right, your financial health. Because now, I know they say people are hiring, but some of those positions aren't what they're advertised to be. I think anybody who wants a good job can have access to one, but at the same time, it takes a little while for your money to catch up. So go ahead and plan that financial thing. A budget
Yeah.
is not a bad word. Most ballers are on a budget.
And look, do not be shamed to cut folk from list.
Yes.
You do not have to spend an exorbitant amount of money to prove you love anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do that.
You
And
don't.
to prove that you appreciate, I have a violet from my girlfriend. Her name is Tracy. Um,
Me?
yeah, yeah. And that violet sits there as a reminder every day. Her name is Tracy. I name everything. Her name is Tracy. So Tracy sit there. I walk by Tracy every morning. Good morning, Tracy. I mean, it's the small things
Yes.
really that mean the
Yes.
most to most people. It's the
Yes.
small thing. It's the thought behind
Yes.
those things. And sometime, honey, the only gift that we need is the gift of your presence.
Yes. Yes. Yes, Dina, that is so true because time and just showing up to be with someone is a gift money can never buy. I mean, we're blessed to be able to buy the things money can, but those things that money can't buy, I mean, are priceless. And when you're genuine, and even, you want, it's the giving season, but also, and I'm gonna say this as Black women, we need to learn how to receive. And sometimes, and I'm talking to myself too, sometimes the only way we know how to receive is to connect with people, learn what you like, learn and be able to trust. So in this holiday season that comes upon us every year, let's look at doing this year a little more different. And what Dana just said, sometimes you got to make lists shorter. Sometimes you get to cut people off and all those type of things you may have to. But at the same time, we also have to remember that everybody needs somebody. And you may be somebody, you may be the person that shows up, but take care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. And you do not have to keep the same people on your list when you know good and well they're a liability. You get to choose. You get to choose. You get to choose who to give to. You get to choose who to eat with. Make those choices. Deanna, anything else before we sail this ship?
Absolutely. People, I'm telling you, life is precious. Life is something that we should adore and something that we should love. I think Tracy and I both would tell you that our lives aren't perfect, but we've just made some decisions that we're going to do the best that we can, do the best that we can, and in hopes bring some others along the way. But even in that, if you are suffering from loss during this season, please share with someone. Let people know.
Reach out.
What you need. It's hard to help someone when you don't know how to do so. So we're prayerful for you. We've all experienced it, myself included, and so it's definitely easier when someone else knows exactly what it is that you feeling. And if they don't know what you're feeling, just allow them, like Tracy said, receive the love however it comes.
That's so true, Deanna. I thank you for saying that. Just receiving, because we have to remember, people, we are still in a pandemic. And we can even use that as a justifiable excuse. If you got to cut your list short, or if you got to cut people off, say, honey, we're in a pandemic. I can't do it this year. And most people will understand it. And if they can't, they ain't meant to be with you no way. But just remember, just plan. When we say budget is not a bad word. Budget your relationships, your food, your health, to make sure you come out on top and that you profit from having a wonderful life. We love you. Thank you for listening. Much love and peace from the BWWP. I'm TracyMac.
Love you. Y'all take care.
You've been listening to Black Women's World Podcast, the BWWP, brought to you in part by TracyMac Solutions for Life Institute, coaching and training services. No doubt you have enjoyed being in our world, and it doesn't have to stop here. Head on over to blackwomensworld.com. This is my personal invitation to you to stay connected with me on social media and more. I'd love to see you there, and I'm so grateful you came to be with me here. Invite someone else to join you in our queendom next time so they can feel the vibe of our tribe of SistaNistas and SistaNista lovers too. Remember to be kind, be authentic, be generous, be excellent, be grateful, and while you're at it, go ahead and be extraordinary, because that's just what SistaNistas do, on purpose, through mission, with passion and compassion. It's a Black woman's world, baby, and you, my SistaNista, are proof. I'm your self-discovery companion, your professional peacemaker, and your host, TracyMac. Wherever you are in the world, may you love and be loved by somebody. Peace.